Hey guys, Ultra Maximus back with the 12th in the series of videos of top 10 movies all across the board. We've done family, we've done horror, comedy, sci-fi, we've done adventure, action. We've done a lot of them, and this one I broke into one group specific, the top 10 Disney movies. And I guess you could do them with family, but there's so many Disney movies and so many good Disney movies out there that I wanted to separate them and give the family its own group because there's so many great family movies out there. So, and remember, this is not the top grossing Disney flicks or special effects or anything like that. And it's not all just animated Disney flicks, but it's all Disney movies. My top 10 and why I think they're the top 10. So let's take a look at those flicks. All right, at number 10, we have The Black Hole. Loved this movie growing up. It was one of those kind of Disney adventure flicks. Looking at the poster here, a journey that begins where everything ends. And this is the original one sheet. Again, as a reminder, if you're going to collect the one sheets, like I do, look for movies, posters that have the folds in them because they didn't start rolling those things until the 90s. So 80s and before always had those fold lines in them. But this is a great movie. Loved it as a kid growing up. This crew out in space hook up with this basically mad scientist, and he wants to go through this black hole to another universe, and he's got an army of robots, and then you got the two little good robots. I think Bob was the name of the old robot. I can't remember. But it's such a great, fantastical film. It reminds me a lot of like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and it was all made around the same kind of time. But I really did like this one and took a liking to this one a lot. So that's why it's in the top 10. All right, so number 9 is Bambi. Probably one of Disney's more money-making films, I would think. It's definitely up there with like Snow White and all that kind of stuff. This is a great film. I remember this. This was a staple in our house growing up. My mother loved Disney movies. This is one of her favorites. We watched it all the time. And I picked this one because it was that first Disney movie where you had some horrible drama right at the beginning. Bambi's mother dies. I mean, even in this poster, you got Bambi's mom snuggling up against Bambi there, and they kill her off right at the beginning, and that's just like a smack into the face to these kids and a heartbreaker. But that's what the film is about, is, growing up in hard times and overcoming these horrible challenges in life, and life's not fair, and that's what this movie really puts across, and it's a classic, lovable tale, and it's pure Walt Disney. All right, next we have on the list Dumbo coming in at number 8. And this is another great Disney classic. Watch this all the time. This was on the Disney Channel so many times. Another classic as a kid. We used to watch, and about the elephant with the big ears, and he gets taken away from his mom. It's not as wrenching as Bambi, but it's still pretty bad in the same kind of things, and being different as a kid and growing up being different and dealing with that kind of stuff. That's what this movie's trying to teach you. And it's actually based off of a children's book, and it was not only one of Disney's shortest films. I mean, it's only just barely over an hour, I think, long. It was made to make money up from Fantasia because they put so much into Fantasia, and it bombed at the theater, unfortunately. So they made this very quickly to put out to recoup losses from that movie, which I always thought was very, very interesting. But nonetheless, it's a great story of, dealing with hardships, being different growing up, and, how to deal with that kind of stuff. So that's why it's in the top 10 Disney films. All right, so at number 7, we have Pinocchio. This is the first Disney film to be released, and it's still a classic. It still looks good today. The artwork they've done back then was so amazing. That cell animation, it just has not been duplicated to this day. It's just a timeless look. And, Pinocchio is basically about making yourself better than what you are, the continuing quest to improve yourself, and finding yourself and who you really are, kind of a journey. And they go the island where they become donkeys, and that was kind of scary as a little kid. But again, this is another classic. My mother loved this. I loved it. Definitely a classic. When you think Walt Disney Pictures, you think Pinocchio, even to the point where you can still get the Pinocchio hats at Disney World. So definitely has to be in the top 10. All right, so number 6 is Aladdin. And this is in that new wave, new generation of Disney movies like The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, all those films, Lion King. Those all are, I call the newer generation of Disney films. And it's very groundbreaking in the aspect of two things. One, the CG interacting in with the cell animation, and they started it in Beauty and the Beast, and Aladdin took it to another level with it, and it just looks amazing. And of course, you have Robin Williams as the genie. And while Transformers the movie was one of the first of the animated movies in the 80s to really start to get big name uh, characters in there. Robert Stack and Judd Nelson, Leonard Nimoy, Orson Welles, all those guys were huge. But I think Aladdin really kind of caught everybody's attention with that. And I think Bob Newhart was in The Rescuers years before as well, but it wasn't until Robin Williams, who was a huge comedian, huge popular, and everybody that started the celebrities to want to do cartoons, add their voices to the cartoons, and it continues on to this day. So I mean, it's a fun cartoon. It's adventurous, keeps your attention, and it's not as, I guess, sappy as some of the other ones. And it's just a groundbreaking Disney film, and that's why it deserves to be in the top 10 list. All right, breaking into the top 5, we have Fantasia, another great animated film. Unfortunately, this did not do well at all at the box office. It bombed really bad, and that really hurt, I think, Walt Disney, because he wanted to really combine great works of music with great works of animation, and that's what this was about. It was a bunch of animated shorts that went along with classical pieces of music, just great stuff. And when you sit down and watch it, it is phenomenal to watch. It absolutely truly is. And the second one, Fantasia 2000, is equally as good. I have both of them. I got them both on Blu-ray. They are just amazing to watch and listen to. And this was originally supposed to be the first in a series of those kind of movies. And unfortunately, it never came to fruition because the public just really wasn't ready for it. And I don't think they still are today. And that's a shame. And that kind of shows you where the entertainment of our world is at, and the appreciation and education level of people today just cannot put that fine piece of work and the fine piece of animation together. It just can't capture their attention, and that is truly unfortunate. But this is still a masterpiece of cinema, and it absolutely deserves to be in the top 10, and that's why it's number 5 in the list. All right, number 4, we've got Tron Legacy. And I love the first one, and I was really in arms about, do I want to go Tron or Tron Legacy? And I decided to go Tron Legacy, and there's some reasons why. Love the first film. It was groundbreaking. I remember watching it as a kid going, wow, this is amazing. But I ended up going with Legacy because it kind of takes it to the next level. It's a deeper story. The effects look better. It's in 3D. We have the new generation of characters in it, and it just really kind of shows you what happened to that world and how it developed. And we don't even see it, and it's just a great idea. It's sci-fi, it's fantasy, it's that all that everything Disney likes to wrap together into one group. And just a great film. They're supposed to be doing a third one, so we'll see if that comes out. I think there's an animated film getting ready to come out as well. But absolutely great stuff. Looks beautiful on the screen, looks great in 3D. It picks right up from the first story, and you get a lot of nods back to the original stuff, which is spectacular. And that's why it's in the list. All right, at number three is Finding Nemo. Pixar movie, fantastic. This is a great movie. Pixar has really taken the Disney animated film to a new level, and with each movie, their animation gets better and better and better. And I'm a big aquarist. I have lots of aquariums. I got a saltwater tank, two of them actually, and I love the water. I love the ocean. I love aquariums, and watching some of these fish I keep in aquariums and going through, and it kind of harkens back to the old Disney movie as well, Bambi, with the mother dying at the beginning, and then it's just the father and the son Nemo, and then Nemo goes on, he gets captured, and the father's trying to find him. So it's this single father, taking care of the son, trying to make it through this big bad world, and you know something's happened to his boy, and he's going out and he's going to do everything he possibly can as a father to make sure that his son is safe and grows up well. And it's just and it's also got a little bit of Dumbo in it because he's got his little gimpy fin, and um, and just being different and being a kid, and he's trying to prove himself. And it's an all round great film. And I love the fact that the director of the movie actually plays the turtle in the film, which is really funny. But it's just all around great film. Probably one of the best Pixar movies that's out there, and I just cannot wait for it to come out in 3D and out on Blu-ray. It'll look spectacular. I mean, the water looks real. Just really good stuff. Great movie, and that's why it's on the list. All right, at number two we have Toy Story. Um, Huge cast. You've got Tim Allen, you've got Tom Hanks, you've got Ratzenberger, you've got all these, Jim Varney, tons of celebrities doing voices in this. And this is Pixar's first movie for Disney, and it was just absolutely amazing. I mean, we've seen CG cartoons before, like Beast Wars. I mean, it was like, okay, it's CG. But when this came out, it just looked amazing, and they just get getting better and better as the series progresses. And they haven't made a bad Toy Story. All three of them are phenomenal. But the thing about this is, it kind of harkens back to when you were a kid with your toys, and you were playing with them on the floor in your imagination, and these were real, almost real people to you when you were a little kid. And that's what goes on here. And these two toys get lost, and they're trying to get back to their kid because they know how much they mean to him. And it's just it's got everything that you want in a family film, and kids love it because it's a cartoon. And then as an adult, you can go back and, oh, I remember doing that. I remember doing that. I had that toy. I had that toy. Absolutely great for everybody in the family, and that's why it's number two. And my number one Disney movie is Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl. Who would have thought that that cheesy ride at Disney World would have made such a great movie? And what I loved about this, it took you back to the adventure movies of Black Hole and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and the original Tron. They got away from this. Disney had been doing, prior to this, for over 20 years, they had only been doing cartoon movies. You rarely saw anything big and spectacular from them that wasn't some kind of a family movie, put out under their label. And then this movie comes along with Johnny Depp and Keira Knightley, and Jeffrey Rush is the perfect pirate. He is. Nobody does a pirate better than Jeffrey Rush. And Johnny Depp, classic character. Everybody loves Captain Jack Sparrow. It's funny, it's adventurous, it's thrilling, it's got action. It's got everything that you want in a movie. Romance. It is the epitome of a movie. And it's classic Disney style, and it's all based off one of the rides, which is really great. And they tried it with, I think, a couple of their other rides. Didn't It was kind of hit or miss, and it hadn't captured the same glory that this one did. All the right pieces came together to make this film, and that's why it's number one on the Disney list. And you know what? If I didn't save it for the Disney list, it'd definitely be in there in the action adventure movies as well. So there it is. There's my top 10 Disney list. I hope you guys liked it. If you didn't see a Disney flick that you love on there, leave a comment, make a video. Check out some of my other videos. Hope you guys subscribe to my channel. I really do appreciate you guys for watching, and I'm going to do one more video in this series. It's going to be the top 12 movies across all genres. So take a look for that in the future, and have a great one.